In a world shaped by monarchs, traditions, and the quiet weight of destiny, one name rises with a new kind of power. Born not just into a crown, but into a legacy that demands courage, grace, and unwavering strength, emerges a young royal unlike any before her. She is the pulse of a nation, the promise of a new era, the future Queen of Spain. This is the story of Princess Leonor of Asturias, the heart of a princess, and the fearless spirit of a modern monarch. Like and subscribe to Future Queen Chronicle for more daily royal update. Stay till the end for full details and update. The palace stands quiet at dawn. A familiar image. Marble floors, ancient halls, centuries of expectation resting on one young woman's shoulders. But here's the truth no one expects. The heart of a princess is not made of glass. It's made of fire. And everything you thought you knew about Princess Leonor of Asturias is only the beginning. Because in a world that tries to shape her, she is learning to shape the world instead. The heir, the daughter, the symbol, the storm. She was never meant to blend into the background, though the world assumed she would. They expected a quiet royal girl, raised to smile, nod, and disappear behind protocol. But what they got instead was something Spain hadn't seen in generations, a modern monarch in the making with a will sharp enough to cut through centuries of tradition. A future queen with a calm voice but an unbreakable spine. A young woman who carries her country in her hands, and her courage in her heartbeat. From childhood, Leonor understood the weight of destiny before she had words to describe it. She could feel it in the eyes of the world watching her first steps, her first speeches, her first mistakes. She felt it in the constant hush of expectation that followed her everywhere, even into her dreams. But no one knew that beneath her disciplined posture lived a heart that refused to be confined. The heart of a girl who could feel fear and walk through it anyway. Her story begins long before she put on the uniform of the military academy. Before she mastered protocol. Before she learned the art of speaking without revealing too much. Her story begins with a question she carried quietly in her mind: what does it truly mean to be a princess? Not by title, but by character. The world believed her life was easy. But they did not see the silent pressure of being born into a legacy shaped by both glory and criticism. They didn't see the sleepless nights before public appearances. The countless rehearsals. The gentle, unspoken fear of not being enough for a nation that expected perfection. Yet each time the fear rose, something inside her rose higher. Spain watched her grow, but the world only began to pay attention when she joined the military academy. Boots on the ground, hair tied back, uniform fitted. No crown, no jewels, no royal cushion. Just Leonor, standing in line with hundreds of cadets, stripped of privilege, judged only by discipline and strength. For the first time, the world saw not a princess of ceremony but a princess of determination. And something changed. In Spain, in Europe, in her. There was a moment on the training field that became legendary among those who witnessed it. A grueling endurance drill left many cadets exhausted. Rain poured, boots sank into mud, the wind sliced across their faces. Some slowed, some stumbled, but Leonor kept running, not because she was stronger, not because she was trained differently, but because she refused to be the one who gave up. A commander later whispered, "She doesn't ask for the easy path. She asks for the path that proves she can handle the throne." That moment lit a spark. A curiosity loop that made the world ask, who is the real Leonor? The princess behind the speeches, the future queen behind the symbolism, the young woman behind the perfection. To answer that question, you must look at her family. The tension, the love, the quiet storms behind palace doors. Her father, King Felipe VI, carries the monarchy like a shield. Always composed, always thoughtful, he raised Leonor with discipline, honor, and a deep sense of duty. To him, leadership is service. Responsibility is non-negotiable. He taught her that dignity is not inherited, it's earned. And Leonor absorbed every lesson. But her mother, Queen Letizia, shaped a different part of her. The fire, the empathy, the sharp intuition. Letizia raised her daughters to understand the world, not just reign over it. She taught Leonor to listen, to analyze, to feel. She taught her that a queen should have a voice, not just a crown. Yet this guidance came with tension. Letizia wanted Leonor to be strong, but she also wanted to protect her. And sometimes, protection feels like control. This tension grew as Leonor approached adulthood. Felipe pushed her toward tradition. Letizia pushed her toward modernity. And Leonor had to find the narrow, fragile bridge between them. A bridge where she could still be herself. One evening, during a private family dinner, a disagreement rose. It started with a harmless comment about her future duties, but it grew into something heavier. Felipe wanted her to prepare for state affairs already set in motion. Letizia wanted her to experience more of the world before becoming confined by duty. And Leonor, caught in the middle, did something unexpected. She stood, looked both her parents in the eyes, and said softly, "I will honor the crown. But I need to choose how I grow into it." That moment changed everything. For the first time, the family saw not a girl, not a daughter, but a leader. Yet the crown does not come without conflict. Europe's royal families observed her rise with curiosity. Some admired her, some feared her influence, some doubted her, and some compared her to the young monarchs emerging around the continent. But Leonor refused to compete. Her only competition was who she was yesterday. Still, the comparisons followed her. Every move was placed beside another royal. Every gesture analyzed, every decision interpreted, and each comparison created a new curiosity loop. How will Leonor define herself in a world where tradition and modernity constantly collide? She answered that question not with words, but with actions. Her first major solo engagement abroad revealed something the world did not expect. She was not just trained, she was emotionally intelligent. She connected with people, she listened deeply, she made eye contact that felt personal, real, authentic. And suddenly, she wasn't just a princess of Spain, she became a symbol of what the modern monarchy could look like. But authenticity comes with its own challenges. And soon, the Spanish media began speculating about her personal life. Friendships, rumored relationships, her time studying abroad, whispered stories of love, heartbreak, and choices that could affect the monarchy's image. Through it all, Leonor kept her silence, not because she was hiding, but because she refused to let gossip write her story. Behind the scenes, she faced emotional battles no camera ever caught. Nights where she wondered if she could give Spain everything without losing herself. Mornings where she questioned if her voice mattered in a world where tradition often overshadows individuality. But there was a moment, quiet, intimate, that shifted her path forever. During a private royal retreat in the mountains, she hiked alone at dawn. Just her breath, the cold air, and the weight of her future pressing softly against her chest. She reached a cliff overlooking the valley, sunlight rising slowly, painting the horizon gold. And she whispered something to herself. "I want to reign with heart, not fear." That confession, spoken to no one, became the core of the monarch she is becoming. The fearless, the modern, the human. Her fearlessness is not loud. It doesn't roar. It stands steady. It whispers courage where others offer doubt. It leads with empathy rather than authority. And because of that, she faces a new challenge, balancing tradition with change. Spain, a nation with a complicated past, looks to her as a promise of renewal. A bridge between generations. A symbol of unity in a time where divisions grow loud. But Leonor does not want to be a symbol alone. She wants to be a servant of her people. A protector of culture. A voice for the new Spain rising. And this desire brings her greatest internal conflict yet. Can she be the queen the people want while still being the woman she wants to become? This question drives every choice. Every step. Every breath. Her public speeches reveal a new maturity. One that blends discipline with feeling. One that carries the tone of a stateswoman but the sincerity of a daughter of Spain. Each speech answers one curiosity loop, and opens another. Because the world keeps sensing there is more to her story. More strength. More vulnerability. More fire. And they're right. The heart of Princess Leonor is not divided. It is layered. Brave. Faithful to her country. Loyal to her family. Determined to carve her own identity. Her journey is far from over. Because the world has seen her courage on the training fields. They've seen her grace during state ceremonies. They've seen her intellect in diplomacy. But soon, they will see her leadership. The fearless in a modern royal monarchy. A young woman who knows that bravery is not the absence of fear, but the decision to rise above it. A princess whose heart beats louder than the expectations around her. A future queen who understands that her people don't just need a symbol, they need someone real. Her story continues with every challenge she faces. Every promise she makes. Every step she takes toward the throne. She is not rushing. She is not hesitating. She is evolving. And Spain is watching her transform in real time. Princess Leonor of Asturias. The heart that refuses to break. The courage that refuses to fade. The princess shaped by responsibility, but defined by her own fire. This is her journey. This is her becoming. This is the heart of a princess.